I am so super excited about today's projects. We're going to be using this gorgeous old candle wick bedspread that was a twin that I found at Goodwill last week for $12. It had some spots in the middle that just weren't treatable. I did wash it, and so I decided to cut it up and use it for some crafting projects. So we're going to be making two super adorable pillows and then a whole bunch more crafts throughout the summer, into the fall, and into Christmas. I have a whole section of it reserved over here for Christmas stockings. Anyways, as you are hopping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle all that normal good stuff. Okay, so what is a candle wick bedspread? It's a little different from a chenille bedspread because basically what this is a whole bunch of knots. Can you see that? My mother had a candle wick, still has a candle wick bedspread. Hers is ivory. I don't know if I had one as a little girl or not, but a lot of people have them, and I was just talking to someone last week who said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I had two of these in my car to take to Goodwill. So she went out and got them out of her car and kept them for crafting. So it doesn't matter if they have spots on them, you can use the areas that are not right there. And this is one that I made already. This was the first one. And it is so absolutely adorable. It's neutral, of course, because all my decor is neutral. But it has a lot of texture, and it has this sort of ivory with a whiter color look to it that looks great in just about any decor. You can get these quilts, if you look, on Etsy and from other dealers that have old fabric and old textiles. You could buy a new candle wick bedspread if you would like, and they come in a lot of different colors. So this is what got me so excited today. What do you think? Okay, so what we're going to be making is a lumber pillow. Very similar to go with that. And here's the one that we use. I think it's 18 by 18. These are from magnoliadiy.com. The square ones come a set of two. You guys, these are the nicest pillows. I won't use anything else for my crafting because these are so seriously nice, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. But this size comes a set of two. And then the lumber pillow comes just a set of one. And I think it's 24 inches long. You can get standard pillow inserts to fit. Yeah, it's 12 by 24, basically. And really good price. I recommend them for stenciling. I recommend them for any kind of projects. So we'll be using some fluff. We're going to be using my low temperature hot gluing device from Sherbonder. It's called a Cool Shot. We're not using fabric glue because it's not necessary. Fabric glue sticks are a little bit more expensive, and they're great if you're making a project that you intend to wash, but we're not going to ever wash these. And then I'm just taking some fluff out of a pillow. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. I made myself a couple of patterns. Just from looking at different starfish online. They're not perfect. They're not perfectly symmetrical. Like this one, for example, one of the little ends is 8 inches. This one is 7.5, and this one is 7. But I think that makes it have some charm. And I did this on some of this poster board stuff that you can get at Dollar Tree, whatever this stuff is called. Okay? So I will get pictures because I know people will ask. I don't have any way to share the pattern with you other than sharing pictures. So each one of the little stars or points is 3 3/4 inches from the center on this one, and then between 7 and 8 inches. And this is what I used to make this one. Okay. So the first thing is to get your fabric and figure out which side is the back, because that's where you're going to want to trace it. So it is kind of hard to tell what is the back. Sometimes if you look along the edges, you can tell, okay, I was on the wrong side. This is the back. Although that side is so much bumpier. I'm going to trace it on the other side. Okay, and I'm just using a pen. It's all going to get covered up. I tell you what, the hardest part of this project is cutting this candle wick bedspread, because it's hard to cut through some of the little knots, and there are thousands of knots on both sides on this kind of a bedspread. You could do this project with chenille also, or any kind of fabric that you want, but I just love the texture of this. So there is my star. On my lumber pillow, I'm planning to do 3 stars, and then we're going to do fringe on the edges. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute. So as you guys are hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle. Feel free to ask questions. I will have a supply list at the end. So we're going to be cutting a strip of this fringe off to go on the ends of the pillow. Use a good pair of sharp scissors. And definitely use low temperature hot glue, because you are going to get this on your fingers for sure. It's just impossible not to. So let me just get this cut out, and then I'll show you the next step. And my plan is to do 3 of these adorable little starfish on the lumbar pillow. That's a word that people love to correct me on for some reason. And it's called the lumbar pillow because it's for this part of your back, and that is your lumbar part of your back. Okay, we're almost there. And I'm not worrying if I'm exactly on my cutting where I drew it, because it does not matter. It's going to look all textured, and I'm going to turn them winky wonky, so it's not like you're going to say, oh, that one starfish has one little point that starts slightly longer than the other one. Okay, and here it is. This is not a fancy bedspread, the one that I have. It doesn't have a real elaborate design to it, but I know that you can get some. It's not as messy as cutting chenille. You're right, Jackie, because I've worked with chenille. I made some of the popcorn chenille, which looks very similar to this. It has the little raised dots that look like popcorn. I made some carrots 2 years ago using that, and they were super cute, but oh my word, there was fuzz everywhere. So a couple people wanted to tell me that this was chenille, but it's not. This is called Candle Wick, C-A-N-D-L-E-W-I-C-K, in case you want to look it up. But you could use chenille. Okay, and then what I did, you need to iron your pillow because it's going to get shipped like this to you, and there's going to be a very distinct fold. So just use an iron and iron your pillow before you get started, and determine what is the bottom. The bottom is the part that has the zipper, and you guys look how nice the inside of this is. And it's got this nude colored zipper. These are such nice pillows. Okay, so here's the front, and I just kind of laid my pieces down just to kind of figure out where I would want them to be. And let me grab some glue sticks. I'm going to show you what I found was the easiest way to glue these pieces on. The easiest thing for me is to kind of poke my glue gun underneath the fabric rather than putting the glue on the back of this fabric, because it's nubby, if that makes sense. And I'm going to do, like, not the whole thing. I'm going to leave an opening where I can stuff it. I will lift this up in just a second and show you. So I'm just barely sticking my glue gun underneath, about that much. And then I'm just following the shape of these little stars. I was trying with another project that I think is kind of a fail. I'll show it to you in a minute. I was trying to glue stuff together the other way, where you put the glue on the fabric, and it didn't turn out great. So let me keep going here for a little bit. And I think I'll leave like an area in one of the corners unglued, so I can poke. I'm not going to put as much stuffing in these because they're much smaller than the big one. What do you guys think so far? Who is motivated to get some of this candle wick? Does anybody have like a mom or an aunt, or maybe you had this kind of a bedspread that's still hanging out at your house? And maybe it has some spots or stains on it. This is a great way to prevent it from going to the dump, you know, and taking up space in a landfill, and to still love it. So let's come do this side. I highly recommend. We're going to do Christmas stockings. I don't have enough because this was a twin to do a whole Christmas tree skirt. But we're going to do stockings with the fringe folded over the top. We're going to do carrots next year. We're going to do pumpkins. We might attempt a seahorse. We may do some stars for 4th of July. There's so many things that you can do. Let me see, where am I? I want to make sure that I leave part of this open. So I will look after I'm finished here online to see if I can find any Etsy dealers that sell this. I've been looking for this kind of a bedspread at Goodwill for years, and I've never seen one. And it's so funny because I was just there and they had absolutely nothing. And I thought, well, I'll just make a quick run through the area where they have pillows and that kind of stuff, which are usually pretty gross, and see what they have there. And so I'm just going to tear my little fluff apart, and I'm going to start poking it in, and I have a paintbrush. So I just thought, well, I'll just look and see if they have anything, and this was actually hanging up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I grabbed it and I put it in my cart before I even looked at it because I've not seen this and I've been looking forever. Okay, it's going to be hard to get this very stuffed because the little points are so narrow, so I'm just going to do just a little bit of stuff and fluff and put most of it in the center. I want to get, we may not get all three of these glued on, but I want to get far enough that I can show you guys the fringe on the edges. Hey Gloria, we are making some pillows using the candlewick bedspread that I found last week at my local Goodwill. They're $12. And it had some spots. I know a lot of you guys were like, don't cut it, don't do that. But I did wash it and I couldn't get some of the spots that were in the center off. So I was like, okay, and also I don't have a twin bed anywhere in my house. So I was like, okay, I want to just craft with it. And anyways, okay. The stuff is pretty strong. It doesn't seem to want to fall apart as I'm pushing and poking stuff in here. And I think that looks just fine. So I'm going to do the same thing. And then you might need to trim up a few little pieces. Look at that! Isn't it cute? I'll come back and see if there's any balls that, any of these little knots that are clear out to the edge that look like they need to be trimmed. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute. Okay, let's do the center one, and then we'll move on and do the fringe. Am I using fabric glue sticks? No, Debbie, I am not using fabric glue sticks. These are just your basic Surebonder mini glue sticks. Fabric glue is more expensive, and it's really only necessary if you are planning to wash the items. So for example, when I make t-shirts that have ruffly sleeves that are added, or when I make tea towels that have ruffly bottoms to them added, then I use fabric glue because it will hold up to being washed. But here's the thing, if I washed this pillow, the candlewick is going to fall apart. So I am not planning to wash it. And for that reason, regular low temp hot glue. I use the brand that goes with this glue gun, which is under $10, by the way. I wish I had a contract with Surebonder because I promote this nearly every single day because I've had way too many hot glue burns and they really hurt. And I don't want to have any more. I don't want to see anyone else have them. So I wish I had a contract with them. If you work with Surebonder and you could help me with that, let me know. I just think this is under $10 I get mine either at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. They don't last forever, but they last plenty long. I just think that it's just totally, as a crafter, I think it's not worth the risk to get burned, to use a high temperature hot gluing device. And the thing is, you don't need high temperature, so why do people use high temperature? It doesn't hold, in my opinion, any better than low temperature. It's not longer lasting. It's not stronger. It's just hotter. And hot. Okay, let's do this one, and we'll leave this corner right here open. So can you see how I am just putting my, I'll show you this. I'm just tucking this underneath the edges of the fabric, just a smidge, and putting the glue down on the pillow rather than on the fabric, because this fabric has all these little nubs. And okay, that is glued down. We're going to stuff this one, glue it down, and then we're going to move on to the fringe, which is the really fun part. Okay, and you can use any kind of stuff and fluff you like. I usually use a polyfill that is made for dolls because it's stiffer, and I like a stiffer polyfill. But I haven't been able to get that at my local Walmart lately, so I just bought an extra firm side sleeper pillow from Walmart, and I have been using that, and it works just fine. But I do like a stiffer polyfill rather than super soft. I'm not going to worry too much about getting these all completely stuffed, and I'm going to focus more on the center. Okay, so I'm just going to push my polyfill in. I'm making a little, I don't know, pressed something. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the stars. I was wondering lately if I still had that, because I haven't had a lot of stars recently, or maybe you guys just haven't liked the projects that I've been doing. But it looks like I still have that, so thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just cutting the knots that are kind of sticking out funny off on the edges. Okay. All right, so for the next step, what I did on my bedspread here, I'm going to hold this up, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not, but it's like there's a little banding right here. Can you see that? And then the fringe starts. And from the back, here's the banding. So the fringe must be put into that somehow, and then it's all sewn together. So I'm cutting that off, and that's what I did. And I have a long strip all ready to go. And my idea, these darn glue strings, my idea was to run it along the very edge of the pillow. And then just fold over the, oh, it's too thick. I don't know that I'll be able to pin it down. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time right on the very edge. There goes my gluing device. It's literally just right at the edge. Be careful not to get my fringe glued into that. This is why you need low temperature hot glue. Seriously. Especially, have you guys noticed when you are working with polyfill, it gets super hot if you get hot glue on the polyfill, even the low temperature stuff. And then if you get that polyfill stuck on your fingers, it could seriously burn you. So I just can't even imagine what would happen if you were using hot temperature hot glue or high temperature hot glue. This is going to be so cute. Okay, if you hopped in the middle, let me show you the first one that I did. And come back and watch on replay from the start because I showed the patterns and all that business. Okay, we're almost to the top. I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to fold it over and glue it down the back. And I think I'll also make a little sandwich along here. Tell me in the comments if you have worked with candlewick bedspreads like this before. When I first showed my pictures, oh my goodness, a lot of you guys shared pictures in the comments of things that you have made, and there were a ton of super cute teddy bears. This stuff is so soft, the pillow is not going to be uncomfortable or scratchy or bumpy or anything, just because it has the elevated knots, because it's pretty darn soft. All right, we're getting there. Need some more glue. Figure out exactly how far does this need need to go. Cut it right there. You don't have to do this in one continuous loop if you don't want to. And I'm finishing it at the bottom of the pillow so that when it's sitting on the sofa, you won't see that. Or you could put this on your bed. Or in, you know, an outdoor chair. That would be super cute. Okay, let me pull this one off for just a moment and grab my pillow insert. And just know that I'll be coming back to do the fringe on the other side as well as the last star. But I want to see what this is going to look like. I think it's going to be super cute. This is just an inexpensive pillow insert. And I think I found this one at Hobby Lobby. Lumbar pillow inserts can be hard to find. And Hobby Lobby had them. Oh my gosh. This is the cutest thing. So I bet you a lot of people ask me, how much are these and will I make them? No, but I just showed you how you can do it. And it'll be way less money and it'll be tons of fun for you to make your own. So. I'll take the insert out before I finish it, but let's just see how it's going to look. These inserts are from MagnoliaDIY.com. Not the inserts, the pillow cover. Oh, goodness! And so, if you want a link for the pillow covers, just tell me in the comments and I'll get you a direct one. I think that the ones from Magnolia are as affordable and much nicer than what you can find at like Hobby Lobby or Walmart. And they're so nice inside and they have such a nice concealed zipper that I always have multiple. I love making pillows. Obviously, I do it all the time. I have multiple in my crafting closet at any moment. So here is the one end of the lumbar pillow, and here is my 18 by 18. Let's stand this up here. Tell me, I will probably come back and do a little more glue on this to get everything nice. But tell me what you guys think. Do you like the idea? Is this something that you think that you will try? Do this? No, don't do that. Do this. This is what Facebook really likes these days. And you guys, the algorithms at Facebook are so messed up. Like there's over 200,000 people that follow this page, and Facebook shows it to usually around 6,000. So if you would do this, say something to me in the comments, make sure you've liked and followed, and sprinkle. That helps me out tremendously. Dolores says she loves them, and I just saw somebody ask for the links. I will, as soon as I'm finished, I will sit down and get the direct links all ready to go. This is the lumbar pillow, and it's individual one. And this is the 18 by 18 pillow covers, and it's a set of 2. And they both have the invisible nude colored zippers at the bottom with the nice, like, lined inside. They're super nice. While you're there, if you go to grab some pillow covers, take a peek at some of the beach and summery stencils. that Magnolia has because they have some nice things. If you can't wait till I get you that link, you can just go to my website, which is magnoliadiy.com. Debbie says she needs to make a road trip to Goodwill. Hey, and also ask around. Ask your mom, ask your aunt, ask your sister, ask your neighbor. Do they know of anyone who has some of these old candlewick? You can call them chenille because most people don't know that this is called candlewick bedspreads that they'd be willing to part with. And you might be able to find one for completely free that was just sitting waiting to go, you know, to Goodwill or the dump. Yeah, see, lots of people saying, I need those pillow covers. And you know what? I totally agree. You do need these. And they're great to stencil on. They're great for button projects, which is what I love. Oh, Lita says she loves these kind of bedspreads. She has 5 candlewick and chenille spreads that she has picked up. Well, girl, you need to get started crafting with them. Or maybe you already are. I would love to see pictures if you already are. So this afternoon, I will finish these up, get pictures. I'll post them here in these comments, so come back and look. I'll also put them on DiyDreaming. Let me know if you would like the complete supply list, because I list everything out, you know, from polyfill. I also list the name of this specific kind of a hot gluing device and give some suggestions about where you can find these kind of old bedspreads. I think I'll do a little bit more research to see if I can find them on Etsy as well. So just let me know if you want a complete supply list and I'll reply to you. Yes, they're very hard to find, Dolores says. Tam, I'll get you the supply list. Terry, I'll get you the supply list too. So give me 5 minutes. Okie dokie. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Be checking back here at DiyDreaming because I have lots more stuff to post and share with you. And sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle if you want to help me with the mysterious Facebook algorithms. You might be able to find them at an estate sale is what Terry says, these bedspreads. Yeah, for sure. Okie dokie. I'll see you guys later.